And joining us now by Skype is Alex Triantafilou to talk about the primary elections and how it has been affected by the coronavirus pandemic. Alex, thanks so much for getting up with us, getting up early this Saturday morning. What are people going to be able to do now to vote? There have been lawsuits, there have been all kinds of things going on.
Well, it's a vote by mail only election, Anjanette. People need to get one of these forms. This is a form you can get on the Board of Elections website. It's a ballot application, to be clear. You have to fill in this form and you have to send it back to your Board of Elections, and then the Board of Elections will send you back a ballot for you to vote that ballot from the comfort of your own home. You have until April 28th to vote. You have to have your ballot postmarked by April 27th.
Did you ever, in all of your years as a member of the Board of Elections and being in politics, think that we would ever see an election postponed?
No, this is a first, and we're seeing many firsts, at least in most of our lifetimes with this pandemic. So this has certainly been a challenge for us at the Board of Elections, but it's a challenge we're going to meet. And remember, you had a month to vote before this election. You'll get now an additional month. So there'll be 2 months of voting in this primary, and we're doing all we can do to make sure that your right is protected.
And I saw something earlier today. I thought I read that in-person voting will be allowed on the 27th or 28th for people who maybe have some disabilities and things like that, but that's going to be the only in-person voting. Is that right?
That's correct, Anjanette. You've got it right. You have to have a qualified disability or, be homeless, not have a home address. And those are very rare circumstances. So we're making it clear to folks they need to mail in their ballot. They need to get their ballot application again from the Board of Elections website, and then they need to cast their ballot by mail and from home. And they should do that sooner rather than later to make sure they meet the deadline.
Have you heard any pushback from people, voters who are just adamant? They're like, hey, I vote on election day and that's it. I mean, have you heard that at all, or are people being pretty understanding?
Yeah, I mean, we've heard some of that, but, again, the world's turned upside down in so many different ways that most people are being understanding. And I can tell you that we're asking for people's patience in this process, Anjanette, because this is different. It's different than what you're used to. But we hope the lesson is that you are able to vote by mail in Ohio. And even when there's not a pandemic, you have that ability. So we're urging people to participate in this process this way. But again, to answer your question, we are hearing some complaints, but that's going to be normal in this process. Fewer than I'd expect, frankly. People understand that we're in a challenging period, and a lot of this is being done for their own health and well-being.
Oh, and I was going to ask you, the president said yesterday, just quickly, the election will be held on November 3rd. Are you guys making any plans to hold the election by mail in November, or are we just not to that point yet?
We're not to that point yet. We expect things to be back to normal. We're praying they're back to normal and have a regular election in November.
All right. Thanks so much, Alex. We appreciate you getting up with us this morning.
Glad to be with you.